For Hindi translation, please choose option Russian. For हिंदी ट्रांसलेशन के लिए ऑप्शन रशियन चूज कीजिए.
Anchor Bhai, can you start the recording?
Yes, Ben. 1 minute.
A single lamp holds infinite hope. The beauty of a lamp is its light that dispels the darkness. This light is the light of the soul that removes the negativity, the darkness within and around. The beauty of the soul comes from pure thoughts, peaceful words, and benevolent actions. The light of the Supreme Light, the Supreme Soul, can ignite many lamps and heal and restore to a new beginning. The Festival of Lights is a celebration and a reminder to always be ignited and connected to the Supreme Light. Celebrate the ignited living light within.
Welcome and good evening, everyone, for the fourth
Good
evening
evening.
series.
Yes, सुनाई दे रही है.
For the fourth evening of the series being Living Ignited Lamp. Sister Santosh is with us now, and we all welcome her. Welcome, Santosh Ben.
Thank you, Om
From
Shanti.
Russia to America, Dallas.
Good evening. Yeah.
Good evening.
Now, yes. So all living lights and living lamps are welcoming you to this gathering. We have a meeting and looking forward to hear from you. I would ask Sister Sita to read your introduction first.
Greetings of peace and Om Shanti to our senior sister. Our Didi Santosh has been in contact with the Brahmakumaris since childhood. She has dedicated her life to God since 1983, and from 1990, she's the coordinator of services in Russia and the Baltic region. She's the director of the Brahmakumaris Center in St. Petersburg, Russia, and is the author of books and articles, along with essays on spirituality, and she coordinates different educational projects. She's the holder of multiple awards for spiritual service to humanity and is the organizer of Divine Light Cultural Group, combining art and spirituality. She has visited more than 30 countries conducting lectures and courses. She is an experienced Raj Yoga teacher and is an inexhaustible source of inspiration. She's gifted with such a refined sense of harmony and beauty. And so, with these few humble words, we welcome our divine sister. And now I turn you over to her.
For inviting me. I just saw the beginning, the theme, and it's wonderful that Deepavali is continuing in Dallas. And now, instead of just thinking of those earthen lamps, you are contacting every evening the ignited living lamps. So wonderful theme. And when I think of myself, that when I realized in my life that yes, the spark has come or spark is needed. So I think if I have to share my story about igniting this lamp, this one, then I have to start from the age of 8. When I was just 8, for the first time, I had experienced very deep pain, the feeling of pain. So you can imagine that such a young age, and what can be the reason if someone experiences pain. The thing was that these were summer vacations, and parents would take us to grandmother's house. And grandmother's house was 3-4 hours from Delhi, where I took birth, and I grown up there. I took my education, everything in Delhi. So this city was 3 hours away from that place, and we were supposed to be there for 1 month. Parents returned back to Delhi, and we 3 kids remained there. After 1 week, my younger brothers requested parents that they don't want to stay anymore there, so they have to be taken back to Delhi. So they were taken back to Delhi. I was the only one remaining in that village. That was a village where my grandmother used to live. But something happened. I suddenly felt not that kind of energy from the people around me there, that much of love which I used to feel from my parents. So I felt I must run from this place. 8 years of age, I must run from that place. So somehow there was a bullock cart, bullock cart going to railway station, and from there they were supposed to go to Delhi, but they didn't take me. And I was running behind that bullock cart. I remember that scene. So the experience was that I am having tremendous pain in my heart, because I was hurt because of some kind of the relation of those people towards me. But they were seeing me as 8-year-old child, and I felt a very mature kind of pain. I felt I'm not this age. I felt myself far bigger than this physical body, and somehow they are not able to understand me. So that was the moment after which I just went into silence. I remember 10 years, 12 years, I stopped talking much to people. I wanted to make sure that nobody should be giving me that kind of hurt. So I think that was the gestation period for the soul, when the darkness around the soul about not knowing how can people in relationship hurt you without any reason, or may not share the feeling of love, kindness, so far back. But this experience was there. And gradually, when I was growing and schooling finished, I went to Delhi University, did zoology honors, and at the same time, I was part of young adults' patriotic moments, which is called RSS. It's still now very much there. So the aim of this movement was that youth must know what is this ancient country, and youth must be able to respect their values, the value of the country, and should be able to take ahead this land. So I was very patriotic in that sense, but somehow I was in love of the globe, the world globe at that time. And I had two globes. One was blue globe, means without lines, just land, land, land. And another was with all lines, means political map. So I would watch both these globes every day. Every morning I would see, and I had the feeling that can't I have this whole world as mine, as mine? Why I have to be here only? Why not this whole globe can be mine? So these were such kind of inner things happening. I was not telling these things to anybody because I felt nobody is going to understand me. They will make fun of me because around me, mother, father, grandmother, grandfather, my brothers, neighbors, they were all busy in their life, earning, cooking, cleaning, talking about this and that. So I felt here I am stranger. This whole atmosphere around me is not mine. I don't know what to do. So during those years, I would wait when everyone around me is sleeping, about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, all lights are off. I would go up the flat and walk on the roof and see the sky. All lights around are off. And in that silence, I would try to feel myself because I wanted to understand that when no sound is there, am I able to see who am I? So such things were happening in the childhood. And then when I used to go to college and we used to work in the laboratory, in the zoological faculty, 3, 4, 5 hours we were sitting in laboratories, and sometime they will bring a lizard in front of me, sometime frog, sometime pigeon. And once they brought cockroach, and the object was, aim and object of this dissection was, experiment was to trace the nervous system of cockroach. Can you imagine? This size cockroach, so small, and this size brain, this size head, and then that head is to be cut and brain is to be traced, and in the brain the nervous system is to be traced intact without breaking even a single nerve. So just imagine the size. So when this task came, I was sitting with my eyes open and looking at cockroach. Why I have to cut the cockroach? What cockroach has done for me that I'm going to cut it? So inside, I felt that again I'm not in that world. Why I should cut? So before that, I was just concerned, sometime pigeon, sometime frog. But when cockroach came, and that when small head is to be cut, I got frustrated and ran to the head of the department and spoke about my this pain, that darkness which was there about not knowing why I have to cut this cockroach. So I talked to him, and feeling was that he is looking at me with a surprised look as if I am a person from some another planet, that nobody ever had this question, nobody ever had any objection. And suddenly a girl comes and is asking this question. But I was very serious because I So from that 8-year age, everything happening in the society was giving me pain and pain and pain and pain, because I didn't know why this is happening. So he said, well, you know that when we do research on these animals, we cut, we see, and then these all findings we used in order to make humanity healthy. It was absolutely not convincing for me that we so big people, intelligent people, need to cut cockroach in order to get health for ourselves. Absolutely not fitting. And I looked at him and felt that no connection. He was surprised why this simple thing I am not able to understand, but I was surprised why does not he feel that we cannot cut cockroach, we should not cut cockroach. So this pain was increasing every day. And at the same time, in my home, thankful to my mother, she's no more there. She just left her body a few months ago. So she did one wonderful thing, that she put me in the kitchen from very early years of my life. In the kitchen, in the sense that she would always create a task for me in the kitchen, at least chopping vegetables, or or blending something, or cleaning utensils. These 2-3 things she will every time keep for me. But here am I. There's cutting board, knife is in my hand, and here is cabbage. And I'm sitting with the cabbage. She's waiting that cabbage would come and vegetable will be made, and I'm sitting with the cabbage. Because I take one piece of cabbage, one part of cabbage, then there is another. Then there is another. This all beautiful, I can't cut. I see one after another, one after another. And who has put it? Who did that? Such a wonderful packing. Who did that? It came from market. He didn't do that. It came from the farm, agricultural land, but that farmer didn't do that. Who did it? That's it. Sitting and sitting with the cabbage. And sometimes sitting with pomegranate. Who counted these all grains and had set in this order? And everybody is eating and enjoying granite. I am sitting with the granite. I cannot eat that, because it's impossible to eat this beautiful, beautiful creation. Who did that? And it was not just question, it was a pain that why I don't know these things. Why I don't know who is doing that. And I caught myself that what was happening in my heart was that if, there are people who would relish the sweet, very good dish which you offer them. You cook a dish and you offer them whole dish and they will enjoy it and they are happy. But here I was always, dish is there, but I'm thinking how it was made and who made it and out of which it was made. Means why I thought that, because why I should be having only this much dish? Maybe I want to cook dish myself. So I must be knowing from which ingredients this dish is made of. So this was that thing that I need to know source of everything. I need to know everything behind the scene, behind visible. Yes, this is pomegranate, visible, but who made it is not visible. And that is my problem. and how to articulate this problem to others, because I found everyone is just going to label me as some freaky person and who is not in this society. So somehow 18 years of age I finished my graduation from Delhi University, but at the same time this means search for this knowledge, the light source, who is behind all this. And then when I saw my brother was doing chemistry honors, I was doing zoology honors, and he was doing chemistry honors, in which I too was very much interested. So whenever I used to see all these things of physics, chemistry, zoology, mathematics, I'm sitting and then tears are in my eyes that my life is not sufficient to come to know about this whole tremendous knowledge. So my worry was now that this life will be too short. People are finishing graduation, taking certificates, started their job, they are enjoying their life. But for me, another worry that this life will be too short. Knowledge is too much in this world. Libraries are there. When I will be able to finish all these books, because I need all that knowledge. Another worry. So I remember that these all 10 years, starting from 8 years till 18 years, I had spent a quite painful time without any reason. Nobody told me to think like that. Nobody around me was doing that, but I was putting myself into that pain of finding something which I myself didn't know what I'm looking for. So another thing which was happening in the family, because it was Hindu background family, are not very much into ceremonies and rituals or other sorts of things, but certainly there was a good regard for the priests or the gurus who were occasionally coming. I think twice in a year, definitely they would visit our home, and mother would feed them with love. And there would be conversation about religious discourses, etc. So we were children, and we were, expected, and of course we were used for this feeding, feeding the gurus and priests. So I would, with love, do this, bring food, bring this or that. And I saw that they are considered by my parents as, like God is there. So they are there. So somehow the world of God is connected with these gurus. And in my heart, I felt, no, 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 no. When I'm going to meet God, I will meet in one. There would be no one between him and me. Inside, my child mind always would say, no, 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 no. I'm not going to put anybody in between me and God. I had respect for them, but I didn't know why I have this feeling and why others don't have such feeling. Okay, they are very great. They know so much. I don't know anything. But God, with God, I directly don't want anyone, because he's my father. There was the feeling, he's my father. And with father, I will decide everything on individual basis. So this is how the whole story was happening from childhood till this youth age. And ultimately, our parents, they started, meditation, Raj Yoga meditation. And when Raj Yoga meditation understanding came in house, I saw pictures came in house. pictures of point of light, God, and music started in house early morning. And I saw that there's reddish light in the room, and they sit down like this. So I felt that what they are doing. Previously, they all the time were with us, cooking for us, washing for us, doing something for us, and now most of the time they are just sitting, doing the things, but attention on us is lesser. So, like a childish rivalry started, jealousy from their love for God, that why now attention is not on us. But anyway, the thought was that I don't feel that I can accept that they are sitting when there is a lot to do in the society. It's better they should go and help some people. There is flood is there, and they must cook something and go to the people who are suffering from this kind of loss. And with this, I always had a kind of critical attitude for their meditation practice, because I thought there has to be something which you do inside, but physically you should remain engaged in karma, action. So action, action, action. And this was just silence. But I remember they tolerated me. They didn't utter anything. They didn't try to stop thinking me the way I was thinking. They didn't convince me, but they were doing their own things. And at the same time, they were putting certain books in front of me. A time came when I had to go to MSc, further education process, but I had 1 week in between graduation and master degrees period. And during that 1 week, I felt already seeing that what was happening in the society, I didn't want people to hurt others. There was injustice happening in the college. Boys were disturbing girls a lot. Ragging used to be there. Other stories of harassing or any kind of abuses happening in the college. So I had constant headache seeing that, because I was not in a position to stop or to complain and talk about that. Uh, I knew that people are not going to listen and understand. So that was the time when my father offered me to visit Mount Abu, headquarter of Brahmakumaris. And I knew that it is in mountains. I said yes, because I thought, okay, I will go to the fresh air area and have some silence time and enjoy myself. They knew she's not interested in spirituality, and rather she is critical about that, but still they took risk and sent me there, where I used to go in my childhood, like just accompanying the family. But this was already conscious age, 18 years of age. And this time I was alone there. So this whole darkness which was here, questions and search for the source. So when I reached there, I felt that as if people are informed about me, that they should not talk about anything spiritual to me, because I will not welcome that. So I saw they are informed, and nobody is trying to come close to me in that connection. They are taking care of me. They are providing me services. But this first day, second day, third day, I saw the sisters, seniors, sisters, all servers there. Something was coming from their faces. For the first time, I felt peace here without doing anything from my own side. Their presence around me gave me that deep experience of peace. And then I realized, oh my God, I was always thinking that action is first, action is important, and you must do something. And here it is. They have done everything with me without doing anything. They have done this with me. They have given me such a deep peace without doing anything. So it means peace is not a passive thing. Peace is a great thing. Peace is the most dynamic action without any spiritual discourse, without any somebody explaining me about that. I went into that experience, and here it is. I need this power. I want to master this because I was looking for that. This is what I wanted. This is this. But I didn't say this to anyone that I have got this experience. I was deep in that joy. And the sixth day came when we had to take leave, and there was Dadi Gulzar, now present administrative head of Brahmakumaris at this moment. So it's 40 years, almost 40 years back. So when Dadi Gulzar, she saw me, met me, very great spiritual yogi. Dadi means senior sister, so grandmother also. So at that time, she gave a sweet to me, which was very near and dear to me. It was rasgulla, my favorite sweet out of the whole bouquet of the sweets of India. And then she gave me blessing. And that blessing, she told me to read that blessing. Blessing was a version, as a godly version written on the paper, beautiful decorated paper. And I read loudly. And the versions were, blessing was the first ever blessing which I received in Brahma Kumaris was that some children, it was written, God says, Bhagwanu Vach, God says, some children put father's cap on their head, father's hat on their head, so they get headache. So children should wear their own hat. Then headache will never be there in the life. You just imagine. And somehow the whole mystery of my being was opened, that all these years, my worry was, my darkness was, my fear was, my pain was, my all these negative feelings were related with that I was thinking about everything outside, what people are doing, why they should not be doing this, they have to stop this. But in fact, this is Father's problem. This is God's problem because they are His children. And I had headache. I had pain because I was engaged in not that activity. I have to be engaged in self-transformation, self-enlightenment, igniting the self. And Father is here. He is for me here. So somehow that was the moment I, for the first time, had smile without hyphens, without comma, without full stop, like a permanent smile was put here. And I remember after that, this smile didn't condensed. It remained like that. The smile of knowing everything. So without reading books, I had the experience, I know everything. Because I now know Father. This experience of, yes, God, Father, is telling me this. He told me this, not this person, not Dadi Gulzar who is sitting in front of me. She didn't know anything about me. So who could give me this blessing? And that was the time when that connection began with the source of light. Connection. I just got connected. Connection. And the God who used to be, and the feeling of God, which was like something in the past or something in the pictures, something in the temple images, that all was vanished, that all vanished, and God was now in present for me, in present. It's not that God will give us something or God used to do, no, in present. That now I have got like hotline connection and I can think of him. He will definitely respond to that because he already responded. He gave me this blessing. So then, of course, I realized that he is invisible, but not unapproachable, not difficult to access. Um, I have my connection with him. I am his child, so therefore, this my personal connection with him is my birthright, and I have to get it. I have to receive it, and this has to be done now. So I decided at the time, I don't want to extinguish this light. I want to remain ignited in this way because I developed the taste for that enlightened, all knowing experience. I wanted that I should not again become ignorant. I should not again went into darkness. I enjoyed that so much, as if I got addicted to that at that stage, that feeling of above. And now I wanted to know how to create that myself because it came somehow. But now, how to create myself? And then I went into the process of regular study of Raj Yoga meditation at Brahmakumaris Center. And that regular study gave me the understanding that yes, godly revelations are happening now, and God is really helping the children through his direct versions. And every day listening to them is like pouring the new drops of oil and staying ignited all the time. So that is in short. That is in short how I went into that process until now, because 30 years I'm in Russia. And when I came here in Russia, people think that somehow when some Brahma Kumaris teachers or those who teach meditation, they went outside, somehow this is like opening the business or opening the new ventures or shops or projects. So maybe they take these things to other country. But it's a matter of joy for me to remember and to understand that I had 6 dresses, which I got from headquarter Mount Abu, 6 white dresses, 6 sets of dresses, and 2 warm shawls, 2 sweaters, no coat, nothing, and 1 set of slipper, and another set of shoes, and here a handful of seeds of knowledge. That's it. And as per rules and regulation, when you have to go to other country, you definitely should have some money. And that money was $200. That's it. And $200, of course, when you come, you spend in some food items and that. And 30 years ago, with these seeds, because I knew, and what were those seeds? These seeds were of the awareness that I am light. I'm not Indian. And these are not Russians. They are light, soul, I am light. And I was ignited by God because I could see now what He wants as He made me realize that I am a soul and all my children in the world are souls. And once this whole word was the word of ignited lights, and now it's no more like that. And you have to, like this, as you are now feeling happy, make your brothers and sisters happy. So I felt that I don't have to do anything else. I just have to touch the light. And so therefore, I never knew what is Soviet Union. I never knew what I'm going to, where I'm going to be there, what will happen, whom I'm going to meet there. But I had this. I had this seeds of knowledge, seeds of which can create light. You see, wonderful was this feeling that you can ignite the invisible through wisdom, through knowledge. So I had this experience. What is that knowledge? Because I was worried I will never be able to finish chemistry, physics, mathematics. I thought that is knowledge. But now I realize this is knowledge, that I'm light and God is light. And when people started coming for discourses for Raj Yoga meditation lesson, and I had the experience of being with the students, two persons at one time, one person at one time, listening this to me and looking in the eyes and talking. But here, the very first gathering were of 600 people, 700 people sitting. How can they come to know? Because this is a matter of person to person contact. But then again, the light came, the thought came, it's not my problem. It is his task to ignite his children, the souls. I just surrendered myself and spoke very simple that we are who really we are. You're not this body. This body is temporary. Your Russian passport is temporary. My Indian passport is temporary. But we are lights. So somehow, very quickly, people started getting, many visions. uh, Tens of them were sitting and weeping. They felt liberation. They were crying. They were getting visions of light around me. And this is how, the service started. And now, of course, it has reached to another level. So I believe, I know, I trust that this source, when I see this source, I realize this source, then no matter whatever I'm doing in my life, no matter in whichever part I exist, I can stay ignited, and I can assist others. I can inspire others also to love this source and stay ignited and enthusiastic. Okay, I am aware of the time because this is going to be very soon now time for sleeping. Here is early morning, whole day is in front of me, but you are going to sleep. So I finish here. But if you have to ask something, want me to share more?
Beautiful experience. You
Yeah.
took us uh, on journey of your life, and so it was so nice to hear. Um, I would ask audience if you have any question for Santosh Ji.
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah. Who is speaking?
This is Karima. I just want to tell you it was very inspiring. And thank you, Sister Jenti, for arranging this. This is wonderful. And I just want to ask you then what happened? How did you start becoming, how did you transform your life to becoming a sister? Was this your parents agreed for you to go to Russia, or how did this go about?
When I just visited Mount Abu, I told you that when I realized this, I got liberation from that headache and tension of thinking about all these things. So actually, after that, I didn't go back home. I went straight away to Brahmakumaris Center in Delhi and requested them that I would like to be here and do something which God now wants me to do. So they were afraid from me saying that because they knew I am absolutely allergic to spirituality. They knew I am a science student. They knew my thinking. So they suggested me, please, very nice, very nice. But you stay here 1 week, you enjoy. Um, but after that, you go home, do something because your parents are there, everything. So then inside, I thought, oh, well. He and me, we have got agreed. I'm in love with him. But now they want to come. You know, there is a saying in Hindi, Miyan Biwi Razi, to kya karega kazi. Means once the husband and wife has agreed what this mediator has to, why mediator has a problem in between. So inside I thought, okay, I will have to face this also because they are convincing me to go there, but they didn't know that I have changed because they didn't know what has happened to me. Maybe they had seen the cases when people get inspired for a while, but after that they have difficulties in following all those disciplines and great things of the spiritual life or Rajyogi life. So they were maybe scared that I'm too young for that. But I was not young. I felt that they are not able to see me, that my feeling, which is huge. But anyway, I was obedient. I went back home. But after 6 months, I packed up everything and came back. And like this, I started living at the center, which was not a place of some human being for me. It was God's home, and God was my father now, and God was my companion now, because anyway, I knew that girl has to go to another home. She cannot stay in parents' home. She has to be with the bridegroom. But for me, I had found my true companion as God. So I came to his home. And parents were happy because they anyway were practicing Rajyogi life. They didn't expect that I would be going into that so quickly because they were practicing it already more than 10 years and they were just as they were doing. But for me, it was shocking that if you know the light, if you know the source, what you are doing here, you must shake the world. You must show the world this light. Let them be in love with the source. Let them just make their fortune. So my position was that.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you.
I heard once, Santosh Ben, that you were sharing with us that you had started learning Russian language before you went to Russia. So, just share a little bit of that with us.
Of 8, the then president of Soviet Union, Mr. Brezhnev, he visited India when I was at the age of 8. So at that time, whole India was on street. In Delhi, he came, and when he saw love for Soviet Union in the hearts of Indian people, he was very impressed, and he declared that from now, every Indian who is willing to get that, they will have 2 very beautiful magazines telling about Soviet Union. So these magazines were Soviet Union and Soviet Women in Hindi, one in English. Soviet Nari was in Hindi and Soviet Union was in English. So my father was in love with Soviet Union. So he subscribed these both magazines. People were getting free of charge. So he subscribed. And I was at the age of 8. So, but what happened? What happened is that when for the first time these magazines came, postman brought these, they were of this much size, A3 size like, and very big package, parcel. For the first time in my life, 8 year of life, I saw a beautiful, a very rich packing, wonderful, because this was not from India, this was coming from Soviet Union. And when I took that, I felt that I have got so much. And how can I give it to anyone now? I took that package in my room and parcel opened and wonderful magazine, colorful, crispy paper, shining, and images were which I never saw because I saw the faces, India bodies, and this and that. And here it was absolutely different. And the most wonderful thing which my that child mind could grasp at that time and was impressed very much was a ladies sitting on tractor. My mother, my grandmother, my auntie, everyone they were all the time in home, yes, cleaning the home, cooking something. And here women is sitting in tram or the tractor. So I was not able to understand what women is doing on tractor, what she's doing in tram. So that a different kind of world. And in this and the central page of that magazine had one line like hashtag आओ रूसी सीखें, आओ रूसी सीखें, come and learn Russian, like this. So, and I thought they are saying me come and learn Russian. आओ रूसी सीखें. आओ means come. So I thought they are saying me come. So I just sat down and started learning that. And was sitting 2 hours reading that page, and then I was waiting next month for the next part. Like this, 10 years it was coming, and 10 years I was learning Russian on my own, and nobody in the house knew. Only God knew, and maybe it was His plan, because we now realize that without language you would have not done anything at all, because spiritual truth is so subtle that you can't depend on translation for that. And so this is how it started. But then when I was in Delhi University, I went in college for first day. In the foyer of college, there were many small advertisements, but there was 1 out of 1,000 advertisement saying that today in the Russian Culture Center in Delhi, Russian language diploma course is starting and admission is open with preference for science students of Delhi University. And I was a science student and I was learning Russian on my own. So I thought this is for me. This invitation is for me. So this was my first day in college in Delhi University, but I didn't go to my class. I took that advertisement, that paper, and went to Firoz Shah Road. This was an opposite direction. College was in North Campus, and this was South Delhi. It took me 1.5 hours to go there. I went and got admission, and then 3 years I did on my own again. Diploma course, certificate course, diploma course, post-diploma course, and I got 90% marks. And then there is another story. When my father came to know, he was not happy because he was practicing meditation and he thought, oh, in Russia they eat all non-veg and meat and this all eggs, fishes, and you were sitting with them, you were learning from them, and you spoil yourself, you have become impure, and I don't want to see such daughter. So like this. But I didn't know why I went there. I didn't know why I was learning Russian. I never knew. So for me, it was not a problem, as if there was some dream happening. And so when he saw that I have not been influenced by that much, so he was calm. But when I understood Raj Yoga, and after some years in Brahmakumaris, invitation came from Soviet Union for teaching meditation. So at that time, I was the only sister who knew Russian. And so that was, like a wonderful plan of God.
So nice. It was already planned for you before you started. Right.
Creation.
And so I know that you have very good art teaching all Russian people, and then all the cultural programs that you organize and bring them to Delhi and Madhuban. And so how do you manage to teach them?
Actually, this is also another big story that Jagdish Bhai Sahib, you know that he is in the roots of the Russian service, and he was made as a main instrument from headquarters, and of course, Almighty blessed him. And when he came, he saw that the people here, the souls here, they are so close to spirituality, and that kind of audience which he was looking for in the whole world, that when he starts speaking, they don't stop writing. So we have videos when he's speaking, and he's speaking hours and hours, and they're writing hours and hours. Hundreds are sitting with such hands, writing and writing and writing. So he realized that this is the land where people are thirsty for truth. So they were technocrats, very good engineers and scientists, but at the same time, very close to spiritual feelings. It is in contrast with, America, too much in contrast, that the technology is there, but still in heart very much spiritual. So therefore, somehow he felt that I have to continue coming here. So he came first year, but when he came second year, oh, very good, you have got this photograph. This is how the situation was. They used to come in 600, 700, sitting on the stage with shoes and writing and writing. So when he came second time, so by that time, the original group was already 1 year old. So they were wise enough to understand who is Brother Jagdish. So they prepared welcome program for him. And what the welcome program was, because they remembered during his previous visits, he used the word bhatti, bhatti, bhatti. So they liked this word bhatti. Bhatti means, furnace. So they like this word, that their life is now, whole life is like in furnace. Meditation practice is like putting yourself in furnace of knowledge, furnace of yoga, and through which you become tasty, you get cooked, you become useful. So they like that very much, analogy which he gave. So when he came next time, they wanted to show him that how much they have understood this philosophy of bhatti. So they prepared a small cultural program. One sister dancer, he had put on the whole shining yellow gown, yellow dress, and in center of the stage there was oven. They had put small oven, and music is going on. Oven, and in oven there are corn grains, corn, yellow corn. So oven is switched on, sister is dancing, and the music is tuck, tuck, like this, and corn is jumping in the oven. So within 2 minutes, corn, yellow corn becomes white, puffy white. And she also sheds that yellow gown, and on her is now white angelic dress. So this gown, meaning is bhatti means where you transform from a hard, not tasty, non-edible product to something very tasty, puffy, angelic. Like this they showed, and he liked it so much. And he said they are so intelligent, they are able to cover the spiritual, to transform spiritual truths and show it through drama. And then he, of course, came to know that St. Petersburg is the cultural capital of Russia, and it had always been, you know, here the energy, the whole atmosphere is of art, culture, and there's people speak the language of art, and every building has the statues of angels around, so much art and architect is there. So this all wasn't drama. I just became an instrument because I myself also had learned Indian classical dance, Odissi. I used to learn pottery, practice all that. So a very good, you know, scenes combined in the drama and all came out to be at one place. And this group was born. Officially, it became a group, official group, which could take the project of godly wisdom to the all states of India after Usha Didi, one of the senior Rajyogi instrument based in Mumbai at that time. Usha Didi, she was official president of cultural wing of Brahmakumaris. So when she came to Russia, she saw how did they perform. She suggested and offered, I would like to do these performances, take them to India and let they do these performances for audience there so that they can see how universal is this Raj Yoga wisdom and how it is not Indian philosophy, how it is not coming from any kind of books, because they were showing all that through their performances. So she organized the first big mega event in Bhaidas Auditorium of Mumbai with a capacity of 2,000, and it was a grand success. And from there it started then, and 10 years non-stop till this Corona lockdown, they were doing this.
Very good. Very yes. This is the secret that I didn't know. But
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
anyone else has any question? One more question before we finish.
Om Shanti, man.
Om Shanti.
Tell
This
me
is
the
the
secret. How come St. Petersburg students speak Hindi better than some Indians?
No, not better than some Indians, but actually, you see, uh, here from the very beginning, as the number was a very big number coming, and there was always the feeling that Madhuban had felt that this land is is growing in a special way service. So every year, 25 years, every year, dadis were coming here. So when Dadi comes, so everything will be in Hindi. So I used to translate from Hindi to English because at the time I was not giving lectures in Russian. I was doing everything, all account work, legal work, whatever, all in Russian, but lectures, because I didn't want people to get stuck in accent and or in language. I wanted them to get the pure spiritual discourse. So I would translate in from Hindi to English and then from English to Russian. And somehow feeling was that a lot of time is being wasted, Dadi's time, and as if they are not getting everything. So we did the effort to prepare one person fully for Hindi for translation, so that the godly discourses which we have every day, Murli, so that that can be translated nicely. And when Dadi comes, she could be translated directly from Hindi. So in 1, 2, 3 years, fully one translator was trained. And once he was trained, then I started reading 3 days Murli in Hindi every week, so that from Hindi, so Hindi words can go, because God's words are something which are not the language, but they are God's words. So you need to listen them as they are. In translation, it is sometimes the risk of losing that depth, unless there is a person, their teacher there, who really takes you into depth of that meaning. So that was started. I started reading in Hindi. So every Wednesday, giving them few words and meaning of that. So they became used to of that. So feeling of love for Hindi language started. So for cultural programs, we make special preparations. We do translation of songs from Hindi, tell them meaning, how the expression of this word is. So it's now long journey. So therefore, people are comfortable with Hindi.
Yes. Thank you so much. Very nice. Very nice to hear you.
Uh, can we have a video or something from the Lightos, Mitos?
I will arrange something and send to Ranjana Ben. She will share with you.
Sure. Thank you, sister.
Okay.
Thank you, Santosh. For you it is Thursday morning, and maybe it's
Yeah.
your class time, and
Yeah,
we put
7:30. It is 6:10 here, and 7:30 I will go to class. It was very convenient time which you gave me, and I didn't disturb any schedule. So again, congratulations for this program. I think everyone would have wonderful experiences getting different things from every person. Okay,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much. Thank you. Would you like to do the commentary?
Okay,
Yes.
let's enjoy a few moments with sweet Father, sweet Baba. When I deeply realize that every moment my beloved Father is waiting for me to sit by his side and get absorbed in his love and peace. So I choose to switch off everything of the physical concern and look at you, my dear Father. Your ocean of love, ever giving, ever loving. Few moments spent with you. They are enriching and make me full as you. You are source of everything on earth, seed of all attainments, all in one. Almighty, my Father, I am blessed with your grace. Your hand of mercy is upon me, and you are holding my hand and making me move ahead on this path of purity and perfection. Each and every human being is a soul in the physical bodies and is your most lovely child. And your love has made me to feel so connected with the humanity, with all souls in the world. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, my dear Father. for being that what you are and for making me what you have made me today. Om Shanti.
Thank you so much. Our special Yadpyar and remembrance to the Russian family there, and a special thank you from me and for those who have attended today, this evening, and taken benefit. So good night to everyone and good morning to Santosh Ben. Thank you so much. Then once lockdown is open, you will come to Dallas. We can't hear. We can't hear you. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes.
So you had been inviting since long, and I know your big heart, and everything in drama is going to happen perfectly.
Yes.
And we will see even better scenes. Okay?
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you for your inspiration, for your life and love. Thank you for your recognition of the one above. Thank you for your sweet compassion, for your life of truth. Thank you for walking on this earth. Thank you for being you. The river flows back to the ocean. The trees turn back to dust. The sun